Yep, that's right. One word, Python. The Colt Python is probably the most sexiest, top of the line, most expensive double action revolver that you can probably put your hands on. I mean, aside from, you know, some of the older Colt single actions and whatnot, but far as a more of a modern type of revolver, far as revolvers go, this is probably a very sought after, very expensive firearm. And it is the Colt Python 357 Magnum. We are clear. Now, I don't play with this one too much because it is worth a lot of money. I've purchased this, purchased a few of them some time back. Back when they were not as expensive as they are now. Today, the market commands more money than I'm willing to pay for one, and I sure am glad I jumped on that wagon years ago. I first started collecting revolvers, and this was probably one of the second or third choices I was already looking into making. The fella that I bought this from is the gun dealer. He still is. He's a good friend of mine, and the day he showed it to me, and he said that, because I was a revolver collector, he said, you know what, you ain't a revolver collector until you got one of these. You have to have this gun. And yeah, it made me buy a couple of them, but this one's the 6-inch barreled one. This is the very first one I bought, and this is the most sexiest, I must say. It's got its original grips. They're not worn down like a lot of them are. A lot of the checkering is worn on them, or maybe have big gouges and dents in them, and some of them, but this one does not. And the finish on this is damn near perfect. You know, I have not shot this gun. Just couldn't bring myself to shooting it. I got another one that I do shoot. Maybe we'll take that to the range sometime, but no, this one is the safe queen, and she rules the safe. And she sits on the highest shelf too. Anyway, no, Colt Python. These things started coming about from the Colt company in 1955 as a response, because most of the revolvers were starting to look a little dated. They were very old school looking, so by the time 1955 rolled around, Colt decided, let's revamp our revolver look and let's add a few things, and they beefed up the frame. This is known as their I frame, which is kind of like an L frame on a Smith & Wesson line, if you're familiar with that. So they added a full underlug here on the barrel, and they added this nice ventilated rib, and that's what Colt's Python, that's what the Pythons are known for, is this beautiful vent rib on the top. And I know for those of you, if I'm not mistaken, out in California, you can't just go in and buy one, because this ventilated rib, I believe, is the reason that they can't. A lot of more rules that make no sense over there. But anyway, this is a 6-shot revolver, double action, and if you've never pulled the hammer back on one of these, you just got to. If you can find one or buy one and get a hold of it and do that and pull that action back and feel the action on it, it is like no other. I love Smith & Wessons and everything, but this thing is the top of the line. I tell you, the amount of handwork and the work that went into this thing, the craftsmanship, is unsurpassed. They do not make guns like this no more. This is more than just a gun. It's a piece of work. It's an artwork. You can tell that they put a lot of pride into it in making it. It was made for the police department. They started carrying them. A lot of law enforcement agencies, highway patrol people, they were carrying these guns. They carried a 4-inch barrel, of course. So this one, like I said, it's a damn near mint, and I've never fired it for as long as I've owned it. I've had a chance to fire one of this size with a 6-inch barrel and it is absolutely a dream to shoot. It is probably the most accurate revolver I've ever shot. It really is that accurate. But inherently strange, if you put it up against, now we're getting to talk about this, Smith & Wesson started to, obviously, you know, with the two companies rivaling each other practically, Smith & Wesson had to create something on their own. And hence it came out to the 586 on the Smith & Wesson line. If you look at the 586, it looks pretty much a close copy of this gun, except for some minor changes. Obviously, the Smith & Wesson did not add this vent rib. Maybe because it's patented by Colt, I'm not sure at the time. But I know that some Taurus and Rossi's now have incorporated that, and maybe some other revolvers. But never be mistaken. It ain't the Colt Python. I tell you, unless it says that right there on the barrel, it's not the real deal. So this gun can be outshot by the 586 or the 686. Strangely, every time these two have gone head to head, yeah, believe it or not, a Smith & Wesson 586 is definitely can outshoot it. So it's strange that you know that this gun is called the Cadillac of revolvers, or the Rolls Royce of revolvers. I mean, you can Wikipedia it, and it has its own page, and it, you know, collectors call it, you know, everything it is, and it is. It, because of its looks, the grips are just crafted unbelievably. The ventilated rib and the finish on it. The finish is a royal blue finish that Colt no longer does. Maybe they do it on a very few commemorative things that they do, and usually it commands such a high price. These went out of production, I believe, in 1999, and then there was a short run, I think in 2001, for a couple of years. Those had the Elite stamp on the barrel, and even those right out of the custom shop have commanded such a high price that it's ridiculous. You know, and unless you're made out of money and you just got thousands of dollars pouring out of your bank account, you know, that's really, most of us shy away from these. I bought it when the timing was right, and I even procrastinated when I first saw it, and I could have bought it for cheaper even when I first saw it, but I didn't, and I waited, and I had to pay a little bit more for it. I'm not even going to say what I bought it for, because it's probably disgusting to hear from most people that are trying to buy it now. I did another review with one of these in a high polished stainless steel, which is absolutely beautiful, as you guys saw. That is also the version that they use in The Walking Dead. This is the actual barrel length size that he uses, but his is either nickel plated or high polished stainless. Now those are the finishes that this gun came in. This one here is the royal blue finish. As you can see, it you can see the reflection on the camera and me in it. Yeah, because it's highly polished, very crafted, very just. You can't say anything more about it. Even the trigger is done up. The hammer, all in here. And Colt has always had the same method of opening their cylinder, and the silver sidings on the hammers, even in their single actions. This gun, definitely, you know, just even opening it and shutting it, it just locks up unbelievably. Now the interesting part about the Pythons, because of the spring system inside, they call it the Y spring, or the V spring, whatever you want to call it. That's probably what I call it, and maybe it's called something else. But the spring inside is like a pair of scissors, and it squeezes down like that. So if you're familiar with like a Smith & Wesson uses like a leaf spring, or if it's a smaller frame size, uses the coil spring wrapped around the guide rod. But this one inside is a kind of a V-shape, you know, piece of metal, and it's under some tension in there. And ironically, when you fire this gun, a lot of them, most of these guns, because of their age, unless it's been tuned and properly done, and of course according to the type of ammo you're using, when fired double action, when just pulling the hammer back and pulling it like that, okay, it will skip a shot. It will have a light hammer strike. I've seen it more times than I'd like to say, but yes, depending on the ammo. If you have some ammo that may have a little bit of a harder primer cap, then that will skip it. It will have a light hammer strike and you will get a skip round in there, and that's just what it is. Unless, now I've hand loaded some of my own 38s and stuff, which I've shot in another Python, and I loaded up with CCI primers for those reloaders that know exactly what I'm talking about, all that stuff. And so it works just fine. It did work. Now I've gone in, like I have my Diamondback is the same way. It's got the same spring setup. If you pretty much work on one of these, they're all pretty much the same. I've tuned my Diamondback spring. I have gone in there and tuned it so it will fire double action reliably, depending on the primers, of course. But if you get some really hard primers, it just may not do it. I've noticed like the S&B or Seller and Balad or whatever, I guess they're out of Hungary. Nothing against them, but their primers seem to be very hard. In fact, I've actually loaded up some 9mm with those primers, the small pistol primers, and had a Glock fail on them. Can you believe it? I know Glock is like, yeah, you fired reloaded ammo in our gun, now void of warranty. But no, that's just inherent what happens. Because of the travel, the amount of travel on the hammer. If you notice, when you pull it back, it pretty much comes to about here and then it falls, versus coming all the way back here and falling. So that's where it's the inertia, it's the amount of power that it has to hit that primer just right and set it off on the anvil inside of it. So that's kind of what happens. That I'm mentioning that because, you know, I mean, I know some people have told me that oh, you know, the Python would be the one that, you know, actually, you know, the Python, what it is a piece of artwork. It's a collector's gun. It's not a gun that I would want to shoot very often. I do have one that I shoot, and that's that, you know. Other than that, like this one is just a safe queen. It's an investment that I bought. I knew that when I bought it, I knew that I could always get my money back out of it and more. So it'll be something that I'll hold on to, and, you know, hey, time comes, you know, you ever need money, you always got it. And there's a lot of people that do that. They make their investments in guns, and this is kind of what I did here. But I do like it. I enjoy it. I enjoy having it because, you know, it's unlike any other revolver. It's really the ultimate revolver to have and collect, as I am a revolver person, so I love collecting them, and this is definitely one that you want to collect. So other than that, I just wanted to bring it out to you, show it to you. It will make another appearance, I'm sure. But this is the 6-inch model. This was a vintage. Probably goes back into the late 70s when this was produced. I had looked it up one time. I since then forgot. It does not come out of the safe very much, so I pulled it out, dusted it off, and got it ready for a review and to bring to you guys right here on the channel. So appreciate you guys watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm BATJAC J.W, and I'm signing out. And that right there, my friends, is a Colt Python 357 Magnum with a 6-inch barrel, and it don't get much sexier than that.